Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to Radio Underground. Shit.
No, it wasn't very publicized. It was pretty quiet. It's made its rounds over the last month or so because now everybody's the hardcore conspiracy guys are over the internet now are putting it out there for everybody else. It's getting mainstream, for lack of a better term.
So NASA put out that there's something coming close to Earth.
Yeah, a couple of them coming close to Earth. Right? Didn't say it was going to end human civilization or nothing like that. So there's no need to panic about it. But now, came out recently again, now it's starting to get a little more hairier, saying, hey, these things might come really fucking close and give us a problem. And then, all of a sudden, we're on a worldwide lockdown for the fucking flu. Now, anybody knows that H1N1 came out, bird flu, came out last year before, whatever, within the past 2 years, and it killed way more fucking people. Sucked our supplies out big time, but we didn't hear nothing about it, right? It was just a pandemic.
595,000 worldwide, 13.2 here in America.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's clearly staggering numbers compared to what we're dealing with right now.
Sure.
But we didn't hear nothing about it. Even as much as it was so devastating that it wiped out our inventory of medical supplies that our great President Obama didn't resupply for some reason. I don't know the politics of it. I'm not going to claim to know it either. But it wasn't resupply. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
So now we're hitting a global pandemic where a fraction of people are dying compared to the other one, the bird flu. But yet we're on a lockdown. Now, does this not feel like a test run to kind of see where our weak points are?
Yeah. The weak points are right here in my house. I'm gonna die! No, I'm just...
Well, even if we do die, it still wouldn't even make up the numbers. I mean, me and you are both bigger-sized guys. It still wouldn't make up the sheer body weight of the last people that died in the last epidemic, which wasn't even considered a pandemic.
Yeah. Well, me and you together are about 5 regular people.
We're about 500 for damn sure.
Yeah. Well, Asians, it's about 17 people. We're big.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them. We can, they're expendable. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the thing is, to me, I think this virus has been here for months. I really do. I think it's not new. I think it's been here.
So you're talking about the major flu that hit in December, and everybody got over it, and then all of a sudden, now it's a problem.
I remember when I was hospitalized and I couldn't breathe for fucking 3 weeks.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and asthma medications don't work for me, even though supposedly I have asthma, but asthma medications do nothing to help.
Well, the same thing happened to me. Right? So it was September or so where, I was having a poker game and somebody came over that was really sick and decided to hit my bottle of fucking Fireball. And I yelled at him. I was like, hey, you're sick. But, me being me, I didn't really care. So I hit it up right afterwards. And I ended up almost in fucking intensive care just for an pneumonia that nobody seemed to give me medication that could help. I was out for like a week and a half for work, everything.
Yeah.
Just for, having an pneumonia is what they told me. But I was on my deathbed practically dying. I've never been that sick in my life.
I remember that.
Yeah, and just for what, a pneumonia?
You're not like me. Like, you're not a hypochondriac. You don't worry about death. But I remember you telling me, I think I'm going to die, Mike.
Yeah, I was fucking in a bad shape. Real bad shape. Couldn't breathe, couldn't move, just stuck down. That's the first time that's ever happened in my life. And I was told it was pneumonia, and all the antibiotics in the world didn't do anything for me. It was still almost 2 weeks before I even recovered. I just had to get over it. Nothing helped. So yeah, following that theory that it was here before, might be true, but even on top of that, what I'm thinking, this is just a flu. Now, granted, it kills people, but every single flu all of this kills people.
Well,
killing people is nothing new.
Yeah, there's multiple strains of flu, and some are nastier than others, and some will die. Like if you're, old or you're a fat ass like me, this could very well kill you. I mean, it could. I mean, it's possible. I have terrible lungs. Yeah. So, that ammonia or pneumonia I got was not ammonia. I wasn't drinking ammonia. Yeah. Yeah, like that guy that drank fish tank cleaner to try to protect himself from it.
President Trump told him to drink that.
Yeah.
So, but just like I was almost fucking dead just from being sick. Right? And I at the time I was 38, 39?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, if you lived to be 70 or 75, you'd have been deader than shit.
Oh yeah, I'd have been dead at 50.
Yeah.
I just don't have good lungs just because of the poor choices I made.
Yeah.
But getting back to the original point of it all, this feels like a test run. If you look at it and think about it, I mean, we're on lockdown, but we're really not. We can still go get groceries and gas, and the National Guard ain't hitting our streets. It's not like a true pandemic. Maybe the movies has got us so convinced that if something like this happens, that it's going to be like guns in the street, locking people down. Because right now, this is like, hey, you're locked down, but you're not really locked down. You can kind of do what you need to do.
Yeah,
it just feels like
just stay away from grandma.
Market, yeah. If you look at the stock market, for instance, right? Okay, it's crashing big time. Oh my God! Wait a minute. We could just dump a bunch of money into it. Oh, everybody's out of work and having a hard time. Hey, we'll give everybody a bunch of money to come back and be fine. It doesn't feel like a real emergency. It feels just like a fucking test run, like an experiment to see where our weak points are. Once they figure out the weak points, like, okay, this is where we need, people are going to die, but this is where we strengthen our country and strengthen our fucking borders and corners and whatever else.
And it is the entire world doing this.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, Mike, it fucking feels like a test run.
Yeah,
it has that feel to it.
I mean, this is a global 9/11, really. Like, where they're like it's
with less deaths per country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's more. It's more death. Well, actually, if you count the wars after 9/11, it's fucking way less death.
It's not even close.
Because I tend to be like not count the people that we bombed and killed, which is probably hundreds of thousands. Hundreds.
Those are like algebra numbers. We really don't care about them.
Yeah. Well, bombing people that didn't blow us up is kind of mean, in my opinion.
They probably fucking deserved it at some point.
Yeah.
Same way we deserve planes flying into our towers at some point.
Yeah. But it's messed up because I'm like you. I have some underlying health issues. So a regular flu or a regular pneumonia, I mean, I wouldn't say it would kill me for sure, but I would have to be careful. I'd have to look.
Hurt.
Yeah, so I'm worried, but the thing that's worrying me is this overreaction, like it's like they're reacting to what they think might happen, not what is happening.
You're right. See, that's the point.
I mean, now Italy got thrashed, and I'm curious why they got thrashed so bad. But they
church.
Yeah. Well, they if you look at China, China's probably lying. They could have 10 million dead. They wouldn't tell you. But
I mean,
but it just doesn't.
Chambers in China.
But Germany is okay. Germany is next to, it borders Italy, and that's northern Italy, so it literally borders Germany. So it'd be like people dying by the thousands in Ohio, and then we had our death rate here, like 5 or whatever. Like, why are so many more dying there than here?
Normally, I would agree with you, but you just said Germany borders Italy.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Yes, it does.
Hold on, let me look at a map.
Or
Germany does not border Italy.
thought it did.
No,
or is it France?
It's definitely France for sure.
Let me look at the map. I'm pulling up Google. I'm not conceding this.
Germany is far from. There is Austria cutting the border out.
Let me look.
So I mean, you're not far off. Austria kills the border. Austria and Switzerland are in between Italy and Germany.
Okay, the Alps separate. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, Austria, Switzerland, the Alps. Okay, so I guess there's that giant ass mountain range is a big difference.
Yeah, but we're talking about the city of Warren separating the two practically.
Yeah. So
or maybe southeast Michigan separates Germany and fucking. Okay,
France borders it, but France is getting thrashed. Spain, they're getting bad too, and then there was a pretty bad instance of death in, I think, Iran, but a lot of places like South Korea, Germany, places that had massive exposure, they have almost no deaths.
No, but you know why there's a reason why South Korea didn't get it bad. South Korea was stockpiled on medical supplies, so when it hit there. And now this is absolute fact too. This ain't conjecture or just assuming. South Korea was absolutely stacked to the gills with medical supplies. So when it hit, they went right into quarantine. Everybody already had medical supplies given to them, so they were able to quell it really quick. That's why South Korea didn't get hit hard at all.
All right.
They were like overstocked with medical supplies, so every citizen had everything they needed immediately.
Yeah, and they're real orderly, and they do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, outside of their Elvis cafes.
Yeah. Professional gamers or like athletes there. They're loved.
But
so to recap your theory,
I think it's a test run.
This is a test.
I think it's a fucking test.
It's a drill. I love that video you put up that we're all being murdered.
Let it calm you down a little bit. You're all gonna die. They're murdering all of us.
He goes,
right now.
We're all being murdered. Then he goes, you're already dead. He's like, he goes, they're gonna kill your family and give you cancer and make you infertile.
I swear to God, that was the greatest video when I first seen it. I'm like, this is gold, pure gold.
He goes, I need sleepy time.
I need sleepy time.
Yeah, he's fucking. I don't care that he's crazy. It's sheer entertainment. It doesn't get any better.
For somebody like me, there's nothing better than Alex Jones in a pandemic. In a false flag pandemic. I swear to God, it doesn't get better than that.
You know, the funny thing is, it'll be one of these things where he'll be right about enough where he can still save face. He always does. Well, I told you.
Yeah, he always is. He's always right about just fucking enough.
Yeah, he's like, they're gonna roll out some sort of, because he'll always play something because he's always making predictions. So in 2014, I predicted they're gonna have a virus that's gonna run like. But here's the thing though. This to me isn't even conspiracy talk. This is going to be like 9/11. It's going to change our lives forever.
Oh yeah.
Remember before 9/11, you could drop someone off at the airport 35 minutes before their flight took off. You could walk them to the plane. They'd get on the plane. You could go.
Pounding a Bud Light.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could go drink with them at the bar right by the plane.
Put your gun in the locker.
Yeah. We could go to Canada because it's 20 minutes away. We could go to Canada and drink at 19. It was like a rite of passage for us Michigan kids.
We used to do it. All the fucking
and then you come back home, no passport, no nothing, just every now and then you'd get a dickhead border patrol, but it was always the Canadian side.
Yeah. We would come back.
Now they're
a carload of us 19-year-olds completely wasted, and the border patrol guy would laugh. He'd be like, all right, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here. And you go home.
Yep.
And you would make it home and be just fine with a great experience that made you, give you some life experience.
Now coming back home because you're not an illegal immigrant or a Mexican, you're going to get tackled if you're a citizen trying to get back home. It's the only people they fuck with. What are you trying to do coming back home, asshole? I live here.
The only time on this planet I had a problem at Border Patrol, not even the time we were throwing fucking Mickey's grenades at everybody.
Yeah, I remember that.
But the time I was with Bill Kaiser, you know, Mr. Red,
yeah,
and he had he had a little bit of weed stashed in a baby diaper in the old, you know how the cars used to have behind like the driver and passenger seat, they have the little pockets.
Yeah, the pouches, like the kangaroo pouches. Yeah.
So he had weed in the diaper there. It wasn't a lot of weed. It was like just a couple joints. The Border Patrol was just putting fingers up asses that day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're getting it.
And then they just let you go back to Canada. You go, all right, go ahead. You're clean. Go on. And you went and partied and bought hookers and drank all night at 19.
Yeah. God, that was. I mean, I was like the young whippersnappers. They're never gonna know about a Canada trip. It was just like going to another city.
I tell you what, dude. Being experienced in that fucking area, because I see it with my own fucking eyes on a daily basis, they don't have a clue. Like, their fun and their world is so ridiculous. It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me? Because the wild ones of your age are going right to jail. Or dying because it's, you know, fentanyl or something in their fun.
Yeah. Something that's 100 times stronger than heroin, kills you the first time you try it.
So they're going to jail or dying, right? They don't have no clue how just they have, like, fucking eat some mescaline at Mr. Toll's astronomy class, and you're okay afterwards. You know, just had a really good fucking time.
Yeah.
Eat some acid and have a good fucking walk around the neighborhood, and the cops kind of left you alone. They knew you were fucked up, so they watched you. You're like, okay, just go be fucked up, walk around the neighborhood, and go home. They didn't fucking bust your ass.
Yeah.
You can't do that now. Because now everybody's a fucking criminal. Everybody's going to videotape themselves doing something stupid. They got to be over the top. They got to top the next guy, which is most likely criminal activity. That is not normal, you know, go home criminal activity. But you're going to fucking jail, you asshole. Because now you're fucking with somebody's personal property, or you're hurting somebody. You know, it's.
Yeah, did you see that? You see that YouTuber or that TikTok guy? He was licking the Corona challenge. They lick the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
And then he fucking has the virus now.
Yeah.
Real smart, dude, dummy.
I mean, you know what? If I want to play devil's advocate here, I would argue that I put shit in my mouth, not dicks or anything like that, for any jokesters, but I put drugs in my body that was the same kind of like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? You don't know where that is. But, I mean...
Or the thing is, like, people are worried about the virus. We all did it. Before the lockdown, dude, I was fucking eating, like, Snickers bars out of vending machines near the border. Who knows where their hands been there, you know what I mean? Fucking just eating it Subway. I mean, you know, I didn't do something... I didn't do something as gross as lick a toilet bowl, but I was doing something that was just as likely to get me fucked up.
Let's put it in perspective here, Mike. So, me and you, on many occasions...
I've had a cold for a week now, too.
We have been completely fucking trash at a bar.
Yeah.
Have we ever licked a toilet seat to prove how cool we were?
No, not even close.
No, not one fucking time. That would never happen in a million years. We barely even went to the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, might have maybe licked some unsanitary titties, but
yeah, I mean, but that's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's I don't know. This to me, it seems that it's like half. You know, it's a real virus because viruses exist and people die of viruses every year. And
it's definitely a real virus,
and people are going to die from this. It's true, but it is also half theater. You know what I mean? It's like, oh God, you got to stay in. Oh, whoa,
dude,
you know, and like
I think it's way more than half theater.
As I sit here, I can't breathe for 10 days. It's fake.
Well, no. I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. it's not fake, but it's nothing so dramatic. You know, okay, so we all got the mild flu, and you know, some people will fucking die, which is the same thing that happens with any kind of fucking virus or flu.
Yeah, one person dying from it is one too many for me. I don't want people to die. It's horrible. But there are certain. Put it this way: if it wasn't for social media, you would just read occasionally, "Oh man, this shit's killing some people." That would be it. That would be the extent of your panic, or your not panic, just your view of it. Like, oh wow, someone died in Clawson from it.
Fucking Timbuktu, somebody fucking died.
Well, I mean,
you gotta remember what you're dealing with though on social media. You're dealing with a generation that has never had any real adversity. They didn't even have 9/11. And they run social media. So something like this is the end of the fucking world to them.
Yeah.
It's the first real adversity they fucking had.
If you want to doom porn yourself, I tell young people, if any of them listening, go if you want to do true doom porn, go look up the Spanish flu. It killed you in 12 hours.
It was 30 million fucking people died.
58 million.
Okay.
58. And it killed you in 12 hours. Once you started coughing, you were dead, you were dead by 12 hours. And it specifically killed people from 18 to 30. So it was a young people killer, and it killed you in 12 hours. So if you started coughing, imagine the anxiety if you had a little like cold kick up.
There's two things that follow what you're saying that are totally true. So one I would like to say out of just to say it is that was 1918 Spanish flu was.
Yeah,
I think it was
about 100 years ago.
Yeah, about 100 years. So every 100 years we get a pandemic. Conspiracy, all the fuck you want about that. But two, your age range, I don't think it's fair because at 1918, there wasn't a whole lot of fucking old people around. There was only so many.
Yeah.
It was the age range that most people were alive was 18 to 35.
Yeah, I suppose like if you were 52, you were an old man back then.
Yeah, you were a real old man.
I remember my dad said that when he grew up, like when he was a kid, growing up in the 50s and 60s, he said he goes, it wasn't everybody. He goes, but half the guys were, dead in their 40s or 50s of heart attacks because they didn't have, they didn't have the fucking stents and shit. So they'd just be, if you were a fat ass or you were someone that didn't take care of yourself or just had bad, you were gone. Like you just didn't make it.
And speaking to that right there, coming around full circle, the late 70s, the 80s, the 90s made it okay with all that. Then we get in the 2000s. Now drugs turn that same stat viable again because everybody's dying at the fucking 18 to 25 range.
Yeah.
They're eating drugs like crazy. They're eating bad drugs. Not even good drugs. The 80s and 90s were all like clean, good drugs. People are going to party. They're going to get drunk. They're going to do drugs. I mean, that's just the way of the world.
Yeah, sure.
And they were clean drugs at that time. You got your cocaine right from there. That was clean. You got your fucking crack. Didn't kill you. It just destroyed your black city.
Yeah.
As the CIA would say.
Yeah.
But then you get in the late 90s and early 2000s, everybody starts fucking dying from overdosing. Overdosing wasn't a thing in the 80s and 90s. I mean, it didn't. I'm not saying it didn't fucking happen. But not in the race that had happened in the late 90s or the early 2000s.
Yeah,
totally different numbers there.
It's really hard. I think the only person I ever heard of dying of fentanyl and all that stuff kills you quick, but like of cocaine, I think Chris Farley was like the only guy to die of overdose on cocaine, but he was 300 some pounds too.
Yeah, no, he had a heart problem. Yeah.
But his official cause of death was...
living proof you can survive that with any kind of thing.
Yeah. To me, though, the whole thing is... It's just every single country is participating in, like, a full lockdown. And I don't know. It's just like, and here's the thing too. Like, if you look at the numbers of deaths and hospital visits, it's sending, like, how many people are going to the hospital and everything because they have a regular flu or a regular cold and they're panicking, you know?
Well, that's the whole point of the lockdown because what was the numbers here? There was like 10,000 ICU beds in Michigan alone, right?
Yeah.
10,000 ICU beds, and my numbers are not accurate by no means. But there's like 10,000 ICU beds in Michigan, and we're looking at 500,000 cases, maybe spreading. So the entire point of lockdown is to make sure we don't overwhelm the fucking medical industry.
Yeah.
It's not that we're all going to die and it's doomsday. It's that, hey, if
those that do get sick will have a bed.
You get 100,000 people that feel fucking bad. You've overwhelmed the system right away.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking at numbers that dwarf that just for this virus. So we have to lock it down just to say, I mean, the medical industry is already complaining they don't have the right materials, which I would like to add because of Obama, but
yeah. Well,
he used it all up and didn't reorder it.
Well, the thing is, like, what scares me about this, Frank, is this to me it's not the big one. It's dangerous, but it's not the big one. When the big one happens, I mean, we're fucked.
Well, see, hey, following you what you're saying, here's where I'm coming from. I feel this is a test run. I truly fucking feel this is a fucking test run to find our weak points and fix them now. Because somebody somewhere is fucking aware that something's coming or something's happening. Georgia Guidestones, let me throw that in there.
So you think it's going to be astronomical, like something from space, rather? I don't know the term. I got to quit trying to talk like I'm smart when I'm a fucking idiot. Something from space.
No, that's not. I mean, if you think about it, like if you really put your thought towards that way, I mean, doesn't it feel like a fucking test run? I mean, we're what, collapsing our stock market, and all of a sudden we could have funds to rebuild the stock market. Hey, we're going to shut down everything, and we're going to collapse small industry. But hey, we got a stimulus package to fix all that. I mean, we're collapsing our economy, and then we have the packages to fix it. And all this showboating in government is all it is. It's just waiting to see what's going to happen. The second shit gets fucking real, something's going to be passed right away. Bam, boom. It's all going to be done. All this back and forth. We know that government, they're all the same.
Well, see,
they're not enemies, and they don't hate each other, and they're not on different sides. They're all the fucking same.
Well, and then certain ones will have a pact. Like the thing with China, to me, the timing of all this is like Trump wants to end dependence with them. He doesn't want them doing all our manufacturing. He doesn't want them having all the medicine. And I think because we know that they'll willingly kill their citizens, no problem.
What?
They'll kill 100 million. Won't even think twice. Their government, not the Chinese people. The Chinese government is fucked. The Chinese people are just people like anyone else.
You mean for the past 2,000 years they've done that? What?
Yeah. So exactly. So they're like, they're seeing the writing on the wall. America's not gonna. We're their top customer, right? We buy all their shit. And when your top customer's like, I'm gonna take our business elsewhere, well, if you're a mafia, you kill them, right? It's like, or you do something desperate. So
exactly what you're saying.
And this virus is somewhat lethal.
It's mild as fuck. I mean, it's mild as fuck.
Yeah, but I think what our government is panicking, they're worried about them having probably something that's really lethal.
Yeah, but going on with what you're saying is, so Trump, our president that we've been complaining about. I mean, this ain't following my conspiracy theory by no means, but it is a theory nonetheless. So he has shut down the goddamn economic world and tried to put America first. he's the first one to fucking do that, as far as we know, on Alex Jones's fucking planet.
Yeah.
So
you're dead already.
Yeah. So he's the first one to actually do some crazy shit that's never been done before. He shut down all this free trade. That's gonna get. I'm gonna mute you for 5 seconds. I gotta dump some ice.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
So he's the first one to ever do this. Shut down, and you see the entire planet. It's like, fuck Trump. The whole planet is fuck you, Trump. Except a few, the outskirts of us that are actually more of us. But
yeah.
Now, since we're actually getting a person in America that's like, we're shutting down everything and we're running the show, cutting down free trade, we're getting paid for what we do, all the shit that we know that Trump's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a worldwide pandemic.
Yeah, when somebody went off script a little bit, now we have a worldwide pandemic, and then half of our own country is blaming Trump when it started in it's known that the virus started in Wuhan, China. China, yeah. And then they get mad at you and call you a racist if you say the virus came from China. It's like, I'm just telling you, the Spanish flu was called the Spanish flu. It actually didn't come from Spain, though. That's actually kind of a bad example. But
you're not telling me nothing new.
But the Spanish were the first to accurately report how deadly it was, because back then there was like 3 newspapers, and they wanted everyone to be calm and keep working. Like, it ain't no big deal. Fucking meanwhile, when you died from that too, by the way, you coughed up and blood came out of your eyes and your ears, and it was fucking brutal.
Yeah, now we're just out of toilet paper.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If something like the Spanish flu came along where you died violently like that, dude, I might, I don't know.
Dude, the Spanish flu was worse than the bird flu.
Oh, way worse.
I mean, people,
light years worse.
People don't realize that how bad the bird flu was because it wasn't reported. It was just an epidemic that was taken care of, whatever. Now, instead of an epidemic, we're at a pandemic over something that's not even that bad. And, I'm going to stick by my fucking guns here. This is a goddamn test run. I promise you, this is just a fucking test run to figure out weak points. Because as you've been doing, and as I've been doing, we've been naming, a ton of other scenarios that are way worse.
Yeah.
And never had the effect that this thing has. Oh, well, you got to stay home because you don't want to kill the old people. Yeah, no, I respect that. I don't want to kill my mom either. But this is nowhere near what the fuck has been happening. If you look at the last 100 years.
No, I mean, look, if you're someone that gets affected by it, which it could be any of us, and it's going to be scary and horrible, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a blip.
Oh, yeah. So let's get in the dark talk now. So now we're at the point where we're shutting down shit. We're shutting down economies. We're shutting down the stock market. We're shutting down everything. At what point do we cross the threshold of damaging everybody to save a few?
Now we're getting into eugenics here.
I mean,
global eugenics dehumanization.
Not truly or purely eugenics, but
no, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So we shut down the economy, and let's say we don't recover. Now the entire country's fucked, and fucked. Now everybody's fucked.
Yeah, well, yeah. If the stock market keeps crashing, you'd be praying for the virus to take you out of the hell, because the raiders and the stress of marauders and raiders and looters, it would be ever present. You'd never be able to relax again, ever.
We're talking about collapse of government, state government, city government. We're talking collapse of all that. So what? Cure what? Save some people? Save a few people and we collapse the entire country?
Yeah.
I mean, at what point does the cure really kill really kill the infected here. Not even the infected. Does the cure kill everybody?
Well, my thing is, it's already here. You know what I mean? It's coursing through the population.
Yeah, so...
there are people that get it that don't even have any symptoms. There are people that it doesn't affect hardly at all. You know, they don't even know they're sick.
So say we shut down the entire country to go from... I'm giving out bullshit numbers. They're not real numbers. They're just aesthetic numbers here. So we shut down the whole country because 10 million are infected, right? We shut down the whole country.
Yeah.
We don't want 20 million infected. We don't want 30 million infected. Shut down the whole country. Shutting down the whole country kills 90 million.
Yeah.
What point are we going to have to stop and go, listen, some of you fuckers are going to die, or everybody's going to die. And that's it.
Well, I heard one guy talking about it. I don't know how he put it, but something like when the bird flu happened. The bird flu happened here, and the lack of supplies and lack of shit killed 5 or 6 times more of the people than the bird flu itself. Like, you go in with your heart attack, and they ain't got a bed for you, you know?
Yeah.
And then, anything that's an elective surgery, like you need a hernia or shit like that, they're not going to do any of that for a while. Or,
that's where we're at right now.
Could you imagine, God forbid, having cancer or something right now? Then you got to go to a hospital with no immune system. You know, if you're in chemotherapy, you have no immune system. You have nothing to protect you. Not a thing.
You're fucking dead.
Yeah. And then you got to go to where all these people are to get your chemo.
Well, there's the question here. So those people, do we shut down the entire country and risk complete collapse of our entire country just to save all of them? I mean, that's a bitter question right there. How do you even answer that? You always want to answer, we've got to save everybody, right? Well, what if the answer is, hey, we shut down the whole country and everybody's fucked just to save these people? Or, you know what? Do we let these people say, hey, you know what? It sounds terrible. Sounds absolutely awful. It's beyond my fucking brain capacity. You gotta let the experts fucking handle that. But do we save these people and collapse the entire country? Or do we let these people fucking die so the rest of the country can survive? That's kind of where we're getting at real quickly. Because we're talking lockdowns in states, small businesses collapsing, economies are collapsing, stock market is fluctuating like crazy. There's no guarantee we're going to bounce back from this. And if we keep going south, do we ever bounce back? And if we don't bounce back, that's some serious trouble right there for this whole country. To save some people that are sick, some older people and some people that are sick already. That's a hard fucking question.
Yeah, well, when you've it's an unanswerable question.
There's an answer to it, but nobody wants to fucking answer it. No, the answer is yes, they have to fucking die. We cannot sacrifice the entire country because we're soft-hearted, but at the same respect, does that turn us all evil now? And is it the country we're saving if we all feel that way?
Well, I would like to think that everyone, no matter who you are, if someone said, hey, if you sacrifice yourself, 10 million live. You're like, yeah, go ahead, blow my head off.
Most people that are sick and dying would be like, hey, I'm dying anyways. I don't want my kid's future to be ruined.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm sick and going to die, and it's my choice to be like, hey, you know what? Fuck it all up for my kids just so I can live for another couple years or another 10 years. I'm always going to choose, you know what? No, fuck that. I'm let me go. I'm on my way out. Let my kids survive. Rebuild the economy. Do whatever you got to do.
Well, I heard Trump talking about put the sick and the infirmed, isolate them, and we're going to have to, by Easter, get back out there. and it's good because the thing is, it's too bad that this thing didn't come a little later, because warmer countries, the warm, humid air stops the spread a lot. And if this was like,
I think you'd be wrong, because look at Italy.
I thought that they're northern Italy where it's cold. That's where it happens.
No, Italy's in the Mediterranean.
Well, I know, but northern Italy's different.
Well, northern Italy, yeah, it's right out but that's a mountainous region. It's not.
Yeah, so I figured it was a little. But anyway, there are places where, well, I guess, I wonder how California's doing, because they got it in California.
California's always doing bad, but I mean, look at Venezuela. They're doing great.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're having similar issues with shelves and stores. We ain't that far off.
The fun part is me and you are not fucking smart enough to figure this out. We leave it to the experts. We just work and do our shit and contemplate normal humanity questions.
Well, the thing is, with anything on Earth, including taking a medication, there are some, when the doctor gives you a medicine, he says they assess whether the medicine, because everything causes side effects, right?
Yeah.
Is the side effects worth what it helps? So I'll deal with the occasional groggy feeling so I don't have a stroke by the 50, so I take my blood pressure medicine. So I'm groggy as fuck every morning. But, and you're talking about this, do we open it's the same thing, but on a mass scale. It's like,
yeah, as a mass scale, it's a pandemic. Are we hurting the country? Are we shutting down everything so everybody's fucked? And how long are we fucked? Does this even recover to save? Are we killing 50 million to save 5 million? That's the question.
Yeah.
Because if 5 million have to die to save 50 million, I'm pretty sure most people would agree with it.
And I am recording this, Frank. By the way, you told me I could, and for all those of you out there, Frank has underlying medical conditions that would include him in the dying risk category. So he's not
talking about that. I'm still working, and I actually have a document from work that I had to get that gave me a pass so I can drive around during this lockdown. I actually have a pass I have to carry on me. This says I'm an essential employee. So when I get pulled over, I show them the pass, and they let me go.
Yeah, it's the same thing at my work, though I do have this week off. But when I go back to work Monday, the drivers that are working right now, they got to carry that pass.
Yeah, I got the same pass. I'm fortunate for the next couple of days I'm working at home, but Friday, and I got to go out, and I got to go do shit, and I got to go to people's houses. And me personally, there was somebody in my office that was hit with it, and he just passed through the office, right? But, where I work, I'm in the office. So he himself was confirmed, and then was in contact with 11 other people and 2 customers on top of that. So everybody was fucking sent home, and I think I'm fine, but...
Yeah. I feel warm.
Feel a little warm in my head region, but whatever. Yeah. I think it's the whiskey.
Yeah.
I mean, my lungs are fine. I'm smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey. It's not going to affect me whatsoever.
Yeah.
I could die from tripping in my fucking doorstep.
Yeah. But if I get a little too excited, I'm at risk.
But I mean, I'm not going to claim I want them 5 million to die, but I'm going to pose the question to everybody: what's your limit here? Do we kill off this fucking economy? Do we kill off everybody to save a certain amount of people, or do we want our children to thrive? It's such a fucked up. It's a fucked up conversation, a fucked up question. But you know what? It needs to be said, and it needs to be hashed out, because we're getting to the point where we're locking down economies, we're locking down states, we're locking down small businesses. How do we recover?
Well, if we keep going, we won't.
Exactly.
And then they're gonna have Mad Max raid gangs.
Yeah, and do we want our children that way? Or, you know what? Hey, though, some people that don't feel fucking very well or don't do very well, they gotta go. My mom's one, your mom's one. It's not like we're talking
potentially you and me personally.
Yeah. I'm not talking out of my ass.
You have asthma, I have asthma, I have high blood pressure, you've had a heart attack. So we're talking about us, folks. Personally.
I almost died from a fucking pneumonia. And
yeah.
That was curable. There was antibiotics for that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a bad spot to be in. We're potentially, but
it's a bad. Go ahead.
But to get to our point, this is probably mostly a drill, real virus, but a lot of testing, right?
Well, since if you sit and think about it, and look at previous experiences and compare it to now. And then you're looking at the silliness going on with toilet paper and all the nonsense, and even the lockdowns. Like, oh, you can still go get liquor and you can still go get groceries. It's not a true lockdown.
It's not martial law. It's not martial law.
Yeah, thank God for that. But it just the feel of it. You know, a lot of people don't sit and think that way because they don't have a conspiracy theory brain. They're just doing what needs to be done and following the rules, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you sit and think about it, you're just like, dude, there was a way bigger pandemic that happened even a couple years ago. It's not even close to this. Well, why are we on total lockdown? What is going on?
Well, people would argue that the mortality rate of this one is way higher. I would then argue I don't know because if everyone was tested, there's probably a lot more people that have it, so it would be comparable.
Well, that's a fucking great point. Great point. We don't even have the testing to see how people really have it.
Well,
most of these numbers are guessing numbers.
Well, I've had a cold for 10 days, and I believe it was I don't know. I think it was Saturday. No, Monday. Yesterday. Duh. I called my doctor. I'm like, do you think I need a test for this? And he basically said, don't waste anyone's time unless you get a high temperature or you can't breathe. That's how, so all the shit about they got tests everywhere and testing. They're not going to test anybody. Not. You don't get tested until you go into the emergency room, then you'll get a test.
You're not even getting a test then. You got to get a pass from, you got to get a fucking physician to get your personal doctor has to give you a fucking pass, a piece of paper that says you're ready to be tested. And if you don't have that, you literally have to go there half fucking dead, sweaty, with a fever, then test you.
They won't even test you until you can go there with a 101 fever, 102. It's 103. And they'll probably send you home until you're at 103. You could be fucking sick as fuck.
And they're not going to test you.
Yep.
I've called my doctor I've been off quite a bit. And I've called my doctor every day he was available. I never got through. Just to go, hey, because I was exposed to it a couple times over.
Yeah.
So I was, I quarantined myself. I'm just like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. But I got a cough that I've had since like 1999.
Yeah. Since the Family Matters tour with Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
And
Korn.
So
now it worries me for some reason.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. I have terrible breathing and I cough like crazy and I'm still sitting here smoking a pack of cigarettes and drinking a gallon of whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. To me it seems we're at a crossroads. That's all there is to it.
We're in a testing facility. And you know what? I'm not mad at it either. If this is a fucking test run, I believe it's a fucking test run for something. But I'm conspiracy minded, and I'm not even mad about it. I think it's a good thing. I'm like, okay, let's fucking find out where we're weak. Let's find our fucking bad points and fix it. So when these stupid asteroids hit or Wuhan decides to let out the fucking rat flu, we're fucking prepared.
The rat flu.
We'll be able to answer the call properly. People are going to fucking die. That's it. People are going to die. And it's not great. It's not fun. You and me both have mothers that are very susceptible to dying. So it's not like neither one of us are playing this off like some fucking joke.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, it can happen. I mean, my mom has not left her house. We've dropped off groceries, all kinds of shit, taken every precaution. My mom has left her house in fucking 3 weeks.
Same thing with my mom, and the kids can't visit. We can't go over there. You know.
And you know how grandmas are. That shit's killing them.
Yeah.
They're not happy. They're not happy at all. But, hey, it's this or you fucking die. You might get it. It's not that fucking out of the realm of possibility where you're just going to be okay. Come on over, hang out, Ma, come hug your grandkids. My kids have been somewhere else for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, because you had to quarantine.
Yeah, because we were exposed. I didn't get it, that I know.
Yeah, your daughter that's staying with you, she was exposed at her place of business.
And then the very fucking 4 days later, I got a call from my boss saying, hey, this happened at our office. You're in the office. This happened. So I took the rest of the fucking week off. I took everything off. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to sit here and figure out where I'm at.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're talking shit out of in the background, just making fun of other people. This clearly affects both of us, hardcore.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I'm not going to pretend to know. But it just seems like, as unnerved as I am by everything, it still seems like a lot of theater. Like it's like
it's a fucking test run.
Yeah, could be. I'm
not saying I'm fucking right, but after like a month of sitting back with all of this and looking at all the details of it and seeing what's happening and what's happened before. That's the key point. What's happened before.
Yeah.
It's not the same. This is different. And it's not even as dangerous as things that have happened before. So now we're on a total lockdown of the world for a flu that might kill old people or compromise immune systems. I'm sorry, but that's been going on for a long fucking time. Everybody dies. Old people and compromised immune systems die from flu in general.
Well,
this one shuts down the fucking planet.
Yeah, when I was 25 and jogging every day and didn't have asthma and wasn't on high blood pressure medicine, I would have been laughing at this. I'd have been like, ah! I'd have been like...
Well, you'd be a Florida spring breaker.
Yep. But now that, the elders are sick and then it could...
Yeah, people that you love and care about might be affected and die from it.
Yeah. It's not funny. It's not. Yeah. I don't...
And even if it is a test run, it's still going to kill them fucking people.
Yeah.
It's still going to kill them. So the test run, conspiracy theory, test run bullshit, still doesn't matter for us because it's still going to kill the people we love.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if we're right. Doesn't matter for a second if we're right about conspiracy.
It's before I took time off work and when I would be driving around, I felt like a wildebeest, like waiting for a lion to nab me. You don't know when you're going to get it. You're going to get exposed. Like, I'm going to get it. This next place I go, I'm getting it. Because the funny thing is, as scared as you are at social pressure and, manning up and being a man, the pressure of that is so retarded. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not wearing gloves. I'm just going to go wherever I go. And
that social pressure doesn't exist for people like us.
Yeah.
You have the young bucks and the young kids who, I mean, you can't really fault them for it. When you were 22, you live forever.
Yeah, you ain't gonna die.
Yeah, you're not gonna die. There's nothing that's gonna hurt you. Whatever. I mean,
yeah, like
it's the way of the world. It's the way it's always been.
A bunch of people our age are dead, or people our parents' age, most of them are dead. So so people you've it's not just your own mortality, people around you are gone. You know.
Yeah. We've witnessed death plenty of times. We know what it means. We know how it hurts, and we know what it fucking means.
There's a finality to it that it's over. You dead. That's it. Yeah. You know, it's like there's nothing else for you.
Spring break means nothing compared to losing somebody you love.
Yeah.
And then when somebody tells you, hey, if you get this, it might kill the people you care about. Oh. And if you've lost people you care about, right away it's like, listen, I don't want to lose anybody else I care about. I'm going to do whatever it fucking takes so that doesn't happen.
Yeah, then I would much rather be a spring break mindset where you don't give a fuck about anything but a beer bong hose. But I think more.
I read that.
I read that.
Yeah, it made sense.
Now I'm thinking about a respirator hose. You know, that's the only one I see. You know.
You are 100% right. Wouldn't it be amazing not to give a fuck? Be like, fuck it.
Yeah, I would just like, I'd be partying too, you know, like with them. But they're...
Corona! That's what the kids are saying. Corona! I'm gonna bong a Corona.
Well, the thing is, most of them are so healthy and everything... It could be burning right. That shit could just be hopping from one to the next to the next to the next, and they're not gonna feel it.
No, they'll feel it when it hits their parents, and the parents fucking die, and they're not fucking taken care of anymore.
Yeah, no more basement funding.
And then they'll be like, "Oh, this happened. Trump's an evil man. He should have prevented this.
Trump killed my dad."
Oh. That's exactly how it happens, too.
Yeah. Not you spring breaking when they told you to stay home.
Yeah, well, you have to have somebody to blame. Most of this nonsense is blaming. You can't blame anybody. I'm sorry. This is a pandemic. You don't know what the fuck's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, pandemics, these things happen. And it's going to happen again.
Yeah, in another 100 years. Or as Sylvia Brown said... 10 more years.
Yeah. Well, there are people that think this thing has... Did
you just cough?
I've been coughing.
God damn it, you're dying.
I told you. I already told you I was dying.
Listen, you can't die before me.
Yeah. Well, it might happen. Sorry. I didn't...
No, that ain't happening. Come over here and drink whiskey. It'll kill it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to drink whiskey to kill it internally.
Yeah.
No, don't you fucking me. It's working, isn't it? I'm surviving this long.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather. The thing is, I don't even go on social media much right now because there's too much people like you said, it is finger pointing and blaming over this is like getting mad at a volcano. You know, it's a natural.
That's great. That's a great analogy.
It's like, dude, it's a natural fucking event.
Listen, the people of Pompeii would disagree with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure they were terrified, but not mad.
It was the Romans' fault.
Yeah, the Romans didn't do the proper deal.
I promise you, I am fucking posting some goddamn shit-starting shit. And it's working.
You getting on to people here?
Well, I won't make the call.
Yeah.
But it's definitely working.
Yeah, he always takes the bait. Always.
I don't care to argue any of that. It's a fucking false flag pandemic that nobody's actually died from. Everybody's still alive. They're just in camps.
Yeah. I have seen that on Twitter. Like, where are the bodies?
Oh my god. How ridiculous are you?
Well,
listen, I'm fucking cool with a good conspiracy theory like anybody else. But people are fucking dying. For sure. People are dying.
Yeah. It's thankfully less than they projected when they were fear porning, but they are in fact dying, and there's enough.
And we have people that are losing their entire life savings. We have people that are small business owners that have to shut down now, and they're small business
How many?
owners.
See, that's the thing is, if they keep, how many suicides will result? You know, a lot of people don't cope with losing everything they got well.
Well, we're talking about the 20s here, 1928, 29, maybe 32, when we had the mass suicides of the bankers or the people that are rich from the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Which was a thing. It was a thing. A lot of people jumped out buildings.
Yeah, they frickin' they off themselves. That's for sure.
But most of them are in China, and we'll never know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We're at a point.
My personal 401k took a huge hit, a huge hit, and I was considering just taking it out. Just like, you know what, fuck it, closing the account. I'm gonna take all that money and I'm gonna invest it in pottery or something.
Yeah. Now, if it goes down and you think it might go back up one day, if you can invest a lot when it's down.
Yeah, I ain't got that kind of money, so stop.
Yeah.
There's a secret of the stock market. The only way you're going to make money at all in that kind of shit is if you're going to throw like $30,000.
No,
I got $30,000. I'm going to put it in that stock that's down right now.
Or you can be a senator and fucking do an insider trading like they fucking got caught doing.
What? Listen, Clinton, I do not agree with his statement.
Yeah. But yeah, I forgot there was a couple senators that when all this was going down, they did a bunch of fucking stock market moves, and
when this is all said, they should be brought up on charges, and that's even being tossed around right now because they know who they are.
Where we go back to where we've had people hanged.
We'd have to march on the goddamn government, and then what? We're gonna kill a bunch of old people that are infected already.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing, to me, though, the thing that, here's when I would worry. And if all the elite, rich, wealthy people were, like, in a bunker somewhere, then I would really be worried about this virus. But they're kind of out on TV and,
I don't know if you're right. When's the last time you seen George Soros?
Yeah. Yeah. Or Kissinger. Yeah.
We don't see them making public announcements.
Yeah. Where's Bill Gates? Where's he been?
They're getting their virgin blood regeneration therapy.
Yeah, the bloodletting of a virgin child to redo their cells.
I mean, George Soros, he looks good for his age.
Yeah, if you're 4,030, you'd look,
I swear to God, you don't believe in vampires? Look around.
That dude helped the Nazis find other Jews. He also,
he's still alive today, running the fucking world.
Think about it, what a piece of shit you have to be to help the Nazis kill your own kind. Like,
I'm actually taking a minute to think about it. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible.
That is horrific, man.
What kind of?
Well, then he was offered a chance to take because they said, well, you had to feel horrible about doing it because everyone was assuming, well, he was scared and just 14 years old, you're scared, okay,
No, he's like, I was doing my duty.
They basically said he was fine with what he did. Like,
yeah, he was doing his duty. Well, how the hell do you live that long and be ashamed of yourself?
Yeah.
And not even, he's like, he only spreads the wealth to his own agenda. So he don't give a fuck about anybody else.
Well, he crashes economies. That's what he does. That's how he makes his money.
Crashes facelifts too. If you ever see that fucking guy.
What was the one? The Rockefeller that lived to be like over 100. He had like 3 heart transplants.
It wasn't David Rockefeller. David Rockefeller.
No, it was Rothschild. Wasn't it the one one of them had like, he lived forever and had like 3 fucking heart transplants where you or I, we're not even going to get one, you know?
No, he took them from young children. He had blood infusions too.
Yeah.
Alex Jones told me, and I know it's the truth, because he had virgin blood infusions from 10-year-olds forever.
Well, what do these guys think they're gonna? I heard I was listening to Alex the other day, and he said that they think they want to put their consciousness in like AI, so they like live forever that way.
I mean, hey, let's be honest here. How far off are we from that? You know, there's some fucking scientists out there that's getting fucking close. And these fucking old school cocksuckers they're at the verge of dying or being there, so they're putting everything they got into it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I will drink virgin blood just to get to this fucking point.
Yeah, think about old Steve Jobs. He's like, "Fuck, I didn't make it."
Yeah, Jobs like, "Fuck it."
I didn't get to do the consciousness in the AI cloud. Well, you got to wonder, like if you know the elite get it, then it's going to become like a thing like cars used to be for rich people. Then the average person, you get like a packaged family plan to put your consciousness in the AI.
They call it a STEM.
Yeah,
is what they call it. It's called the STEM. And you put a STEM stack. So they call it a STEM stack. So you're able to put your consciousness in a little fucking thing and then re-sleeve your body into whatever body you want, because that STEM stack can do it. This is all complete bullshit, by the way. It's complete bullshit. It's from Westworld.
Okay. But that stuff's based on what people are really trying to do.
Well, the Westworld, the way they do it, is the most sensible way. If you were going to do it, that's how you would do it.
But see, I hear the elites, it has nothing to do about going into a body. You're just going into a cloud. Like, you don't even need a body anymore. You're just there.
No, you're always going to want a body.
Well, like Krang.
You got to have a body. I mean, what do you do? Just float around the internet?
That's what I do anyway, and I'm alive.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to argue that point.
Yeah. That's how I live as it is. I mean, that's. I don't know. I think they're like you said, they're the guys that are little. Can you imagine being like a rich elitist, you know, a rich Illuminati guy, and you know that it's possible to have your consciousness be put into something, and they're not quite there yet, and you're like 85, like, come on.
I'm going to drink virgin blood. Bathe me in the blood.
Yeah, I can only sacrifice so many more kids to stick around here, guys. Get this fucking AI shit going.
It's starting to catch on, man. Trump's president. He's catching on to this. He's already killed all our pedophile fucking lifelines.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, man, all the pedophile rings that are getting... Everyone hates the dude. And there's some things that he does that even I don't agree with, but the one thing that he's been awesome about, he has really went after pedophile rings all over the place. Even Hollywood got fucking shook down for it.
Yeah, it was like he was affected personally somehow.
Probably was.
Probably a kid you didn't hear about or some shit. Or maybe he went somewhere that he thought, you know, I'm an elite, I'm a billionaire. You know, obviously this ain't true. This is just fucking imagination carried away.
Yeah.
But maybe he went somewhere and was like, this is not cool.
Well,
and you know what? I'm going to fucking put my time in, get where I need to be, and then run for president. And the first thing I'm going to do is hire a hitman team. So if anybody tries to fuck with me, you're all dead. I ain't Kennedy. You ain't fucking Kennedy me. I'm going to kill any motherfucker that fucks with me because they're all in place. I have enough money to do it. And now that I'm here, I'm shutting it down. Oh, so your media and everybody else is going to fuck with me the whole time? Good luck, because most of America loves and respects me because they know what I'm really about.
Yeah.
That's just theory.
That's a theory. Well, did you ever see that interview with a guy from the band The Scorpions? And he's like, he's got a thick German accent that I'm not even going to try to replicate. But he's like, yeah, I was at a party one time with a really, because he was doing well with his band, they were really popular, and he goes, there's a lot of elite people there, politicians, other entertainers, and it was a snuff party. They were killing people, and like, excuse me, he's like, yeah, they were killing people at the party, and the interviewer was like shocked, and then like a couple years later, they found him. Hey, why you want to expand on that story? He goes, oh, it didn't happen. He was like all scared. It didn't happen. I made it up. It was just a made up thing. Like, and he wouldn't answer any questions. But like,
yeah.
So I bet he immediately got the talking to.
Well, it's just funny that for years, this shit never happened in politics. It just didn't fucking happen. Hollywood politics, nothing. It was always the same rhetoric, and we were quiet the entire time. And now this guy comes in and shakes up the entire fucking everything. And look how crazy the planet is. Fuck, Mike, we're in a lockdown for a goddamn cold virus.
Yeah, I mean,
crashing the economy that he promised to fix and shut down everybody else around.
And that is the only part of my brain. That's one of why there's a part of my brain that still thinks that maybe this is bullshit. Not the virus, but the reaction, because every government, everyone on Earth hates him, except for half this country. People like us.
You know what I say? You know what I say to that? What I say to anybody that has that, like the same thing you're talking about. It's a real simple fucking explanation. Look at your gut. What the fuck does your gut tell you? Most humans' gut, how you feel, you're not fucking wrong most of the time. Most parents, ask a parent. They have a gut feeling about something, they're always fucking right.
Yeah.
What's your gut telling you right now? What's the gut telling most people? Even people that disagree with them. Most people are party lines.
Yeah.
But really, look at your gut. Like your inner instinct, what do you think right now? Oh, Trump's a bad man, he talks bad. Well, most of them people are fucking half-wits. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that, but...
Yeah, I think...
Look at your gut. What's your gut tell you?
My gut tells me they used a real virus that there's some level of danger to create a global panic. Where there really didn't need to be a global panic. There needed to be global concern, but not a global panic.
So now that you're completely right there, now you go to the why. Why?
Well,
why would that happen?
Because it's the only thing that can get him where he won't be voted in.
But he'll still be voted in. He will absolutely, if there's even a fucking vote, by the way, because it might be a complete fucking collapse of structure, but why on earth have we been dealing with this for 4 fucking years? This is crazy. We've never seen this in our lifetime.
Yeah, well, every time you look around the corner, there's a new insane fucking thing, like the whole Russia thing, and then he's grabbing women and, by the pussy, and fake hate crimes and fake this. Anybody that's right of Mao Zedong gets fucking kicked off Facebook, kicked off Twitter, kicked off YouTube. You can't have a dissenting opinion,
Look how crazy the world was going for 8 years. And look at the abrupt stop and change of pace.
Yeah.
So, simple question is why? Why is everybody losing their mind? Why is everything always a problem? Why is all this shit happening? Why? The whole country didn't become so racist anymore. I mean, it was way worse in the 60s. We didn't have this fucking problem.
Yeah.
So why now? Why now do we have a global pandemic? Why do we have all this shit in an election year, which we're really close to re-electing? Why is all this happening? None of it makes fucking sense. Because you can counterpoint every part of this.
Yeah. You can, to me it just seemed, these things happen. I'm sorry, dying again. But too many crazy things have happened in a row, one after another, one after another, one after another.
4 years straight.
And now it's crescendoing with a goddamn pandemic shutdown.
What was the most important thing that we remember the past 4 years? Here, I'll answer it for you. So we had shutting down of other economies, trying to rebuild our own, fixing trade deals, things like that, and getting rid of pedophiles. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the Trump administration. Hey, we're shutting down the rest of the country or the rest of the world from fucking with us. You're not building our shit. We're building our own. We're getting rid of pedophiles. Hey, you're all fucking gone now. Shut down Hollywood, for God's sakes.
Yeah, if your livelihood and everything that you've built was at a threat, you'd fight back, and they're fighting back any way they can. Because the current order is them, right? That's their life.
Yeah. Let's make it real simple. Look what's happened in the past 4 years. Hey, we shut down the rest of the world from taking advantage of us. We're bringing money back into our country. Even Ford and GM. Fucking Ford shut down $1 billion facility in Mexico because the taxes were better here and they came back.
Yeah.
They shut down the economies everywhere else and said, you know what? Hey, we're doing it back here. And by the way, you Hollywood elitists, you're talking shit about me, I'm exposing your pedophile rings. Fucking, you're done. Hell, I'm going to take a whole island. We'll call it Epstein Island. And I'm shutting that shit fucking down.
Yeah, and a lot of people were like, well, he's been pictured with, Epstein. He probably knew what the fuck was going on. I was like, dude, I got to stop this.
He's a world elitist, too. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. The dude knew what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
He decided to give up his fucking lifestyle to run for president and go, what's the first thing he started doing? Shutting down all the bullshit. Gee, yeah. I wonder why he got a ton of hate. Like, an abnormal amount of hate from every aspect from this whole fucking planet. Kind of weird.
Yeah, when you take on the richest people in your own country, and then you take on all the global economies, global governments that also hate you, you're of course he's going to be hated and shit on.
Yeah. And why isn't
and now we got a pandemic.
Yeah, what? Yeah, exactly. But why isn't he fucking dead? Because the dude had so much fucking money. He spent a decade putting safeguards in place for himself.
I've heard about that. He had mercenaries and shit everywhere, and
he spent an entire decade putting safeguards in himself. Because remember, in 1989, they were saying, hey, Mr. Trump, why don't you run for president? He's like, I love this country. I'm not doing that now. I'm doing my own thing. I got my own shit to worry about. 9/11 happened. Mr. Trump, how come you're not running for president? Because he had a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of things that wanted him to run. It was almost 30 years later, the first time it took that dude 30 fucking years to even put in place where he's not going to end up like Kennedy.
Yeah.
And you know what? Look at the shit he's saying and doing. A lot of people, a lot of the opposing sides look at the things that he's saying as, oh, this is blasphemous and you're saying retarded stuff. Well, they're not looking at what he's actually saying and what's actually happening. He don't tell lies. He's not the best speaker out there, and he don't have all the answers either. He fucking says off the cuff. He says exactly what he's thinking at the time, and if you don't like it, whatever.
Yeah,
It's not recorded shit.
Yeah, he doesn't have the teleprompter like Obama had.
Like any of them had, right? He's just being like, hey, I'm trying to fix this fucking country. I make mistakes. I say dumb shit. I make mistakes, but I'm trying my best to fix it. I'll tell you what. How about if China doesn't manufacture everything for us and we do it ourselves? How about if a company goes to Mexico I find them, and I says, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you tariffs. You want to go to Mexico because it's cheaper? I'm giving you big tariffs. How about bring your companies back here to America so citizens can work? And we're right back to World War II. So if something happens, our country can rebuild and do shit right away. How about if we get a global pandemic, our big companies can build respirators, can build all the shit right away, and we don't have a problem. We're not relying on China. We're not relying on these other countries to fix everything. We are capable of fixing it ourselves.
Smart. It needed to be done. It absolutely needed to be done.
It hasn't been done in a fucking, half a century in this country.
See, the thing is, to me, I worry about a time when Trump is gone. What's going to happen?
Oh, yeah. You're not wrong about that. That's for goddamn sure. Me too. I think his son's going to run.
Hope so.
Don Jr., I think he will run. You've seen this guy's speeches and his political fucking arguments?
Yeah.
The dude's a genius. The dude's smart as fuck. And he don't sugarcoat nothing. He comes at you right away.
Yeah,
Don Jr. is fucking amazing.
I've seen some of his stuff on Twitter, but I've never seen a lot of his speeches or anything.
Yeah, his speeches are fucking on point. He goes to universities, he goes everywhere, and everything that the kid's fucking. He's really good at it. He really is. We're looking at a modern day Republican Kennedy. This is what we're looking at.
Yeah. I haven't. Like I said, I saw some of his tweets and stuff, but I've never seen a lot of his.
You're on YouTube quite a bit. Check out Don's speeches. The kid's fucking amazing. He shuts shit down, and he's educated and he's smart.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, I promise you. I mean, we're looking at the Kennedys of this generation, right?
Potentially, yes. Okay, Don Jr.'s 42. Yeah, he's old enough to do it.
Yeah, the guy's smart.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But we're all going to die from the virus. It won't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all this is great talking and planning, but the virus is going to kill us, so what's the point? I don't really see why we should be happy about anything. There's no point in being happy. We're dead. Yeah, the pessimism, it can be infectious. You start to think well, maybe it won't be so bad, maybe it'll be okay, and then you look at scenes from a fucking intensive care unit in Italy, and you're like, uh-oh, I wish I hadn't saw that.
Yeah, and then you go on Facebook and watch people arguing stupid comments, stupid shit.
Yeah, stuff that doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Nope. Argue back and forth. I mean, I like to post shit just to rile up the crowd. But realistically, what the fuck is your argument going to do? Oh, this guy said something, that guy said something. You're fucking idiots. Are you dumb? Look around. What if you're right? What if I'm wrong and you're right? What's that fucking change?
Yeah. Well, they got to get mad and call you a racist, though.
Makes no sense. If I knew some Russians like hardcore Rosinski Russians, the arguments just don't mean anything at the core. You're like, okay, well, you want to be right? Fucking fine, be right. How does that help anything? Okay, you're right. Good job being right.
Or sometimes people aren't necessarily right. They're just really good at debating because they do it all day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to argue that point. You're fucking 100% right there. They're good at debating bullshit.
Yeah. Well, actually, it shows that this happened here and that happened there, and it's like...
And me personally, I'm terrible at it. I'm not very good whatsoever. I can't quip you out of a fucking debate. I'm just going to have to be like, well, you're wrong. Fuck off.
Yeah. Well, like you said, if you go against a social media professional debater, it can be problems.
I don't have enough information to fucking counter you because I don't fucking care about that information.
Like, can you give me a few examples?
Yeah. I know what's right, I know what's fucking wrong, and that's pretty much where I come and go at.
Yeah. Same here. I got into a few debates, but sometimes two people that they can be completely wrong and they're still going to stand on their principles, and there's no point. Because here's the thing about debate. Debates are good. It's good to have the discourse and the debate, but ultimately, no one gives a shit, and things are decided by force eventually. That's how things get decided. Force.
That's why we're always right.
Yeah, dude, like everyone that thinks that only their country does the right thing during war because we're us and we're good. Yeah, that's no, that's not the way it is. We were in the right because we got the right history because we won.
What? That's not even true history.
Yeah, and the other side, had they won, would have done the same damn thing.
I was watching things with people close to you, and I'm going, okay, these are great talking points, and they're fine. They're actually really good talking points. And then I seen, I was called to that post, and I'm just like, why the fuck are you even on here saying anything like that, you fucking half-wit, half-legged motherfucker?
Oh, yeah, because it wasn't even anything political. He just slid it on.
Nothing at all. And it made me so mad. And I don't fucking talk shit. I leave shit alone like that, right? But that made me mad. I'm like, listen, motherfucker, why the fuck are you even here talking this shit? Has nothing to do with that, you fucking moron.
Yeah.
I wanted to stab him in his fucking face.
He had to come sliding in there. He had to just come sliding in there. Some people can't help it.
No, I'm not sleeping, and now you won't shut up because you're being so loud.
Don't look at that folder.
I just literally stabbed you. Look, I didn't ask for you to tell me.
Oh, I'm getting stabbed.
Stab him.
Why would you tell me when I asked you not to? Because you knew it was going to keep me awake. It's so funny to you?
I'm just...
She okay? So we'll just take this moment here to take a break for a talk with Frank.
I'm bad.
Yeah. She mad for you waking her up, I assume?
She's mad about the asteroids hit the Earth.
Yeah. I'm mad about that too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I find that disheartening.
She came out to yell at me. She's like, why did you tell me that? I can't sleep. I want to fucking stab you.
Oh, about the asteroids?
Yeah, the NASA thing. We're at a test run and all this shit.
Well, I mean, they should have thought of something other than a quarantine. Like, actually, what helps this virus is if you stay with your friends and family and loved ones and hug them and tell them goodbye. The government gave you that advice. Make sure that girl that you wanted to kiss, you just do it today, okay? Trump said that. Today's the day, trust me. Get it done today. Because you don't have tomorrow, it's not guaranteed if you catch my drift.
may or may not have told her the theory of what was happening.
Yeah. Seems like it.
Now she's mad at me. I can't sleep. You're an asshole. She literally she was in bed. Like, we didn't do nothing wrong out here, right? We're just sitting there. So she was in her bed and probably hit a breaking point and came over just to scream at me because she hit a breaking point.
Oh, boy.
Like, we're all just calm by her talking, but she couldn't handle it anymore. She kept hearing to yell at me. Why is the world ending? Fuck you, you asshole, for telling me.
I'd rather not know. I'm the same way. If it was guaranteed that I was going to die tomorrow, I wouldn't want to know.
I'm going to call you and tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Absolutely.
You're not getting out of that.
Yeah. Mike, get out your telescope and look southeast at this.
You are not getting out of that. You're going to have to deal with it.
That's the fucked up thing. If an asteroid was coming straight at us, it would be kind of crazy to be able to, like, look at it. You know, like, get your telescope and, like, oh, this is going to be here in a week. Might as well see what it looks like.
Yeah, it's happening, Mike. That's it. It's the end of time.
Yep.
This is their test run to see who's surviving and who's not.
Who survives, who's going to thrive, and who's going to take a dive.
Who? But I hope you have your COVID mask.
Yeah. Kind of late for that. I'm coughing quite a bit. Would have been nice to have it 2 weeks ago.
I'm so laughing. I got yelled at for my conspiracy theories.
Hey, you deserved it.
I do. Barely.
Yeah.
You don't be in quarantine? Grab some beer and come over already.
Yeah. I can't.
You're full of lies. Neither of us are going to die.
I know. But I am going to go to bed soon.
All right.
And thanks for the uplifting call. It was hilarious.
You're going to die. Your family's going to die. Everybody you know is going to die.
He goes, you're all dead. You're all going to die.
You're all dead.
You're all going to get cancer. You're all going to get blah. You're dead.
If any of you survive this, you're going to get cancer and die too.
That was so great. Good old Uncle Alex.
All right, man. I'll let you get back to it.
All right. See you later, Frank.
Good night.
Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to Radio Underground.